Hey guys, sorry I've been recording in like portrait for most of the video. From this point forward, I guess that will be corrected. It's now pretty late here. This is the second speaker. I actually went out to get like some kind of glue for the first one. And I probably should not have used this. It's like it's a Loctite 2-in-1 like seal and bond. I should have tried to get something that was just like a bond, but anyway, I used this on the inner bottom edge of the first speaker, just like around in this area where this one is. If you look here, you can kind of see if it'll focus. Come on, focus. Focus. It's not focusing. Well, anyway, what I did was I just put some of this like around the inside, like on this side, in between the speaker and the housing, and it was still kind of moving around a little bit because this has this has flex right there. Has some flex. Why is it so blurry? I think my camera might be dirty. Sorry about that. Anyway, so because that had a little bit of flex, I ended up finding some crazy glue in here in the house and just going around on the outer edge of the other one just to make sure that it wasn't going anywhere. And I went ahead and mounted it back in. I probably should have waited and let it cure a little bit. So in a couple days or so, I could have a speaker that just like falls out. So hopefully not. Hopefully that doesn't happen. This time, instead of using that stuff, instead, what I went and did was I went to Walmart and I got this stuff. So this time I'm gonna put that on the inside of just the housing itself. Last time I put it on the back of the speaker and was trying to put enough in there so that it would just stick to the housing itself. And so this time I'm gonna do that a little bit differently and just glue around on the inside of this housing and then stick the speaker in. And I also got some Gorilla Glue super glue gel that I'm also gonna put on like the outside. So the second speaker, the third and the fourth one will definitely not be falling out. There's no way that those would possibly fall out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this one. For this part, all you need, I used, for this part, I used a hand saw. This is actually for wood, but this is all I had. And I went around and I cut like each of these clips in the back here. I cut all of them out. Then I took the screwdriver and I pried this out just enough. And then I went in here and I clipped these with some wire cutters. And I just used the wires that came on here and I wrapped it around the aftermarket speaker. And that's how the other one's in there. So no problem with doing that as long as you make sure the wires are short enough so that they're not touching anything else like the speaker or have a chance to touch each other, and you'll be fine. I mean, you can do it that way too. You can also solder it, but I don't have that type of stuff. My electrician days ended back in school a long time ago. So anyway, I'm gonna get started on that. So again, all that you need for this part is the old speaker, a tiny flathead, some wire cutters, a saw of some kind, and glue. That's it. That's all you need. All right, so I'm just comparing my factory speakers to the new ones for my girlfriend, because she's not gonna get to see these like this later on, and for you guys just so you can see how bad they are. These are I went with the JBL GX600C. They're about 150 bucks, but I happen to catch them on sale today for 120. You can probably get them on eBay for about 100, but I went ahead and just got them from Best Buy. So, but here you have paper. This is a paper speaker, and then you have polypropylene, which is very nice. Gives that warm, crisp tone. Anyway. Okay, so right now I've already cut all the little clamps off, and right now I'm trying to split the speaker away from the harness. It's pretty tough to get a screwdriver in here. I'm just gonna tell you that now. Whatever glue they use to put this on here is really, really good stuff. So it takes a little bit, but once you get that spot up, you can kind of put your finger under there and just rip the rest of it away. So, all right, so now I've gotten most of this off. This is what's on there that you have to get off. I broke it this time. Didn't break it the first time on the first speaker, but I did break it this time. And so hopefully that's gonna come off as I rip the actual speaker out here. We'll see. All right, so I did end up having to use a box cutter to free these wires this time before I was able to just pull them out of the old speaker. As you see right there, I had to like cut a little bit just to get it free of that plastic where it was holding it at. So and I clipped it as I was pulling the speaker off. I just clipped them away from the speaker. And what I do is I just use these same exact wires just to wrap around. I just stick them through the two prongs here. I just stick them through and wrap it kind of like around and be done with that. You can solder it, and you can also get a wiring harness. I've thought about this. You can get a wiring harness and have it clip. You can clip the original factory one, or not clip it, I'm sorry. The wiring harness would fit into the original clip that's still in the car. And then you could just run the wires under this, you could run the wires like under this piece right here, like through the back of it when you're screwing it back in, and just have it hook up to the speakers. So that's another way you can do it. All right, so I've broken, now you see this is completely hollow. I've broken the those clips, the rest of the clips that were on the inside of the speaker. I've broken them out. It's easy, just take it and just push down on them and they'll just snap off. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use this stuff. I just opened it, and I'm going to just kind of get this in here, you know, like all the way around, and then I'll stick the speaker in here. And then when this is sitting back in here, first of all, you want to make sure that you line the bottom of this up. For the way that I'm doing this, well, anyway, really you want to do this. You want to make sure that your connections are lined up closely with the old connections. And it just so happens that this speaker, as you see here, the speaker and the connection, which is right there, lines up like perfectly almost. It's close enough. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's close. And it'll end up looking just like that. And then what I'll do is I'll go around with some of the crazy glue, and I will glue this outside rim right where the speaker meets the harness. So you're not getting anything on the speaker. Should you ever want to undo this, you can. You won't get anything on the actual speaker itself, just the body. Like on the underside, you're gonna get stuff in there, but this is all metal, so you can clean that off if you wanted to. So this stuff is super hard to squeeze out, but that's pretty much what I wanted, is for it to look just like that. And then I'm just gonna set this in here. Make sure that the holes line up. About like that. About like that. And then I'm just gonna pick up on it. And of course, a lot of this stuff's gonna ooze out, so you wanna get a paper towel or some kind of something that you don't care too much about. Sorry, my kitchen's a mess. I'm doing some home improvement stuff right now as well. Paper towel. And this stuff's gonna ooze out, so I'm gonna need 2 hands as well. So once I get it glued all in, I'll show you the finished result. All right, so I finished gluing this. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that the Loctite that I used on the first speaker actually ended up working better than this DAP, whatever, this strong stick. Yeah, that didn't work as well as I thought that it would. It didn't immediately hold like it says it does. So I'm gonna go back to using that Loctite probably on the last 2 on the back too. I did go ahead, and you can kind of see a little bit of the clear beads there. I did put Gorilla Glue super glue all the way around that outside edge, so it's not going anywhere. I'm not worried about it falling out or anything. But I would just recommend like a Loctite, maybe not like a 2-in-1 like seal, just a bond. Just try and find a Loctite that's just strictly for bonding and has no flex. That's probably what I would use. And I would still recommend getting like Gorilla Glue. Like I got this is the gel super glue. I would recommend getting that anyway, and just using the Loctite, and then finishing up with a super glue around the edges. That will give it a super hold to make sure that it stays in there and isn't coming out. So, well, there's the finished product. Back into the harness. This is just gonna basically, I'm just gonna screw it back in there just like that. So I haven't tied the wires up yet. I'm about to do that, but I mean, you know, you get the gist. That's about what it looks like. So all right, guys, so you already saw me doing that front speaker. So now I'm on the back. I started originally with the front driver's side, but because I was recording in portrait, we're just gonna move on to the back here. It's exactly the same. So yeah, it's exactly the same. Only thing you need to do this is these 3 tools: a small flathead, a Phillips, and a longer flathead. And what we're gonna do here is first we're gonna take, I already took the little tab out. It's actually down in here. Yeah, there's that little tab that was right where that hole is there. So you take that out, and you take your little flathead right here, and you just stick it about right there. Sorry, it's all, the flathead's kind of gunked up from using it on with some of the glue. Anyway, so you take the flathead and you just stick it about like in there, so, and you just pry out. So I'm gonna do that really quick. And there you go. It is out now out. See, there's the screw that you need to take out. You want to take that same flat head, and in here, see that little groove back up in here? You want to take your flat head, stick it down in there, and just pull that guy out. And it comes right out. It's just a flap. That's it. There's nothing holding it in. Okay, then you want to take your Phillips. And you want to go ahead and stick that in there. And unscrew this guy. Okay, put him here, please. Okay, you want to stick your Phillips in here. Sounds like there's a train going on nearby. It's like 7 in the morning, by the way. You want to do this like as early as possible. Well, here I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, so it's yesterday it was like 100 degrees outside, so it gets pretty hot out here. So I came out to do this early. I'm gonna do both this side and the right side. And go ahead and just pull the speakers out, because that's like the hardest part. Getting all this stuff back in is like a cakewalk. You just screw it in and stuff. All right, so next you want to take your big flat head. There's a spot. Now this is for each door. There's a spot about down here where there's a gap, and you just want to pull. You want to take one hand and kind of pull this open a little bit, as much as you can, and you just shove this up in here. What you're trying to do is you're trying to get the round part of the flathead to contact in between the panel and the metal door itself. You don't want to use the flat part. You just want to shove this up in there so it gets past the flat part, and you're using just this round part here to kind of pry, and at the same time you want to pull too, and it'll just pop. And once that pops, you can just kind of go around the door with your hand and pull, and you'll be able to pull all the pieces apart here. It's just a bunch of clips like holding it in. So I'm gonna do that real quick. You'll hear it pop and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to stand for this. There you go. There's the pop. And you just move around and pull at the same time. All right, the door panel now is completely loose. Okay. All right, so next, all you do is you just pick up on this and it'll come right off. What I'm gonna do is just undo this connection. I don't mess with the door handle connections. It's enough room for me to just undo this one and kind of turn this and set it down and go ahead and unscrew the speaker back here. So let's see here. You'll need again the Phillips. So let's go ahead and pick this up. Just set the phone down, camera down again. Okay, so when you pull this off, this is what it looks like. There's the door handle connection. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the window connection. This is door handle connection. So this one right here is one that you want to undo, as well as the speaker connection. Having trouble with trying to figure out where I'm gonna set this door handle. I'm working on it here. Let's see. Okay, I kind of got it. I'm just gonna use my foot to kind of prop it. Okay, so on the front driver's side, there's another connection for, I guess, all the extra stuff that's up there. So its connection, you'll have one that's like this, and then you'll have another one. The other one is kind of hard to get to pull out, because there's like another piece of plastic like covering this button that you push. So be careful with that. It'll just feel like there's nothing to push, and it'll be hard, but trust me, there's like a little guard there, so you'll have to put your finger like around it just to get it. So a little bit different from any of the other doors, but you know, with some patience, you'll get it. So now we just have, as you see here, the speaker, and it's got 4 Phillips screws. So I'm gonna take that out, and I'm gonna do the other door, and that'll be it. I'll glue it and then let it cure, and then come back out here and install them. You guys just missed my roommate's naked girlfriend running through the house. I don't think she thought I was here. I took an extra day off, but anyway, okay, so I've already done both front speakers, and now I can tell you that this stuff right here, if you let it cure, this is all that you need. This is it. This works. It just didn't seem like it was, because it was still moving a little bit, but I guess you just have to let it cure for, let's see, I let it cure for probably about 7 hours, and it's hard as crap. So try not to put too much on the inside though. When I go to do it, I'll try and like not put quite as much as I did before, and it'll work out just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and both both the back ones with me, and I'm gonna go ahead and tear these apart and get started on putting these in, and just let them sit until later today. I guess the evening I'll put them back in, and be all done with speaker upgrades on a 2015 Kia Forte hatchback. I might do the tweeters at some point down the road, but right now my main concern was just getting these factory crap out. So tools needed. You might need a box cutter. You definitely need some kind of saw, wire cutters, tiny flathead, and the glue adhesive. All right, so I ended up using a pair of vice grips to help me pull these wires out of the other speaker. It just helped cut away the whatever was holding them in place. So you might need that. So now I have this again, and like I said before, you just push in on the sides here to get these clips to break away, like so. I need 2 hands here. Just like that. You just push in and they'll just fall apart. So I'm going to do that for this one, and then I'll do the second one, and then go ahead and glue this in. Alright, so this time I used the strong stick, and I just took my finger and went around to make sure, you know, there wasn't a whole lot. I tried to use a lot less this time, and I've also made sure that there's none on the outer edges for the most part, and same for the inside here. I've tried to go around and make sure there wasn't any excess. So I'm just going to set the speaker in here. I'm sure some is still going to come out, but it should be a lot less messy than before. Sorry guys, don't mind me being in boxers. So it's now a little bit after 11, and these speakers have fully cured. As you see, I did a really good job of trying to keep the mess down to a minimum. Even on the inside there, you can't even see. You can see a little bit right there seeping in. But it took a little bit less than, I'd say, 3 hours for these to cure. As you see here, here's the right hand side one where I've like tied it, kind of just tied them into the speakers. So I'm gonna take some wire cutters here in a second and just clip this off so that it's not hanging around like that, and put them back in, and that'll be the end of it. So didn't take too long, wasn't too hard, very easy to do yourself. Please don't pay Best Buy or an installer to do this for you. It's too simple to pay somebody money to do that. Plus it's, you know, an experience learning how to do it and stuff like that. So good luck. I hope your install goes as well as mine did. It should. And I'll catch you guys later.